I'm Steve. We're going to talk about the single most important word in energy, maybe in the entire global economy, Brent. It's the benchmark that quietly runs everything. Forget all the noise you're hearing on the news. This is the number that really matters.
So let's set the scene. The date is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Right now, as markets are waking up from London all the way to Singapore, every serious trader on the planet is staring at just one number. And that one number is going to set the tone for the week, the month, maybe the entire year.
And here's exactly why. You've probably heard this before, but it's the absolute truth. If WTI, West Texas Intermediate, is the heart of the American market, then Brent is the pulse of the entire world. It's the very rhythm of global trade, of conflict, of industry. And believe me, when that pulse starts to race, the whole world, you feel that pressure.
Just think about the sheer scale of this for a second. 2/3, let that sink in. 2 out of every 3 barrels of actual physical oil that get traded on this planet are priced off this one benchmark from the North Sea. It is, without a doubt, the global yardstick. End of story.
Okay, so what actually makes Brent so different from WTI? I mean, they're both good quality crudes, right? Both are light, sweet, but the difference, the one that changes everything, is logistics. It all comes down to logistics. You see, WTI is landlocked. It's stuck depending on pipelines all funneling into Cushing, Oklahoma. But Brent is born at sea. It gets loaded right onto tankers, and that gives it immediate access to the entire globe. And listen, that's not some small detail. That is everything.
And that fundamental difference leads us to what we in the business call the Brent-WTI spread. It's just the price gap between the two. But it is so much more than a number on a screen. Think of it like a global fever chart. When you see Brent trading, say, 10, 15 bucks higher than WTI, that's a direct signal. It's telling you that the rest of the world is absolutely screaming for oil and that the shipping lanes, the very arteries of global trade, are under incredible stress.
Okay, now we need to get to the really critical part. Pay attention here, because this is where most retail guys, they get absolutely crushed. It's because they just don't get the fundamental difference between the physical oil market and the paper futures market.
See, in the professional world, we're not just looking at futures. We're tracking something called dated Brent. And this is not some paper contract for months down the line. No. This is the price for a real cargo of oil getting loaded onto a real tanker in the next 10 days. It's the price of immediate, physical reality, what's happening right now.
And here's the problem. Right now, we're seeing a really dangerous disconnect. The price of that dated Brent, the physical tanker, it's trading at a huge premium to the paper futures price. Now, this isn't market speculation, folks. This is a flashing red light. It's screaming that the physical supply chain is breaking down, that there just aren't enough tankers, or that they can't get through the choke points they need to. So what happens next? What's the consequence? Well, when that physical price disconnects from the paper price, the Goliaths, I'm talking about the major oil companies, the state-owned players, they start hoarding. They go out and secure physical supply. And they'll pay whatever it takes because they know the shortage is real. And who's left holding the bag? Well, the rest of us. We're the ones left to pay the price at the pump.
You know, this all comes back to Brent's ultimate power, which is its seaborne advantage. This is really the core of its dominance over the whole world.
So it makes you ask a pretty simple question, but the answer is profound. Why? Why Brent? Out of all the different types of crude oil in the world, how did this one become the king?
The answer is simple, because it's waterborne. It's produced out there in the North Sea, gets loaded straight onto a ship, and from there it can be sent to literally any refinery on the planet. It's not at the mercy of a single pipeline that can be shut down or sabotaged. And that flexibility, well, that makes it the crude of choice for a globalized and, let's face it, pretty unstable world.
And it's that very same logistical advantage that makes it the ultimate geopolitical indicator. It is directly, immediately exposed to the harsh realities of global conflict and trade.
Just think about it. Let's say there's a refinery strike somewhere in Europe, or a blockaded strait in the Middle East, or maybe just a sudden spike in the cost of shipping insurance. Brent feels it and reacts instantly. It might just be the most sensitive financial instrument ever created. It's a real-time thermometer for global risk.
And that is why you have to watch it. If the price of Brent stays up, stays elevated, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what the central banks say, it doesn't matter what they do, their policies will fail. Why? Because the structural, physical cost of energy will simply override them. High Brent prices for a long time means high global inflation for a long time. Period. End of discussion. All right, so let's bring this all together. Let's look at the final ledger. What does all of this mean for the markets? Right here, right now.
Well, as of this morning, the S&P 500 is sitting at 6,740. On the surface, the markets seem pretty confident, don't they? But they're ignoring this immense pressure that's building up just underneath, and it's all being driven by the physical oil market.
And this is where the real danger is. If you remember one thing, remember this. Oil is the only commodity on Earth that can bring a roaring bull market to its knees in a single week. It has the power to absolutely shatter confidence and trigger a recession faster than you can blink.
Because you see, Brent isn't just about the fuel in your car. It's the invisible king. It's a thing that decides the cost of, well, almost everything. The diesel for the trucks that bring your groceries, the jet fuel for planes, the massive amount of energy needed to make tech chips. Its price just ripples through every single corner of the economy.
And just one last technical point, because it's important. The Brent we talk about today isn't actually just one oil field anymore. It's now a basket of 5 different North Sea crudes. We call it BFOET. Now, on one hand, that blend makes the benchmark more stable, but on the other, it means a problem at any one of those 5 fields can send the whole global price soaring.
So, what's the bottom line here? The crucial point is this: the ledger is shifting. For months, we've seen the paper markets try to call the shots, try to dictate the price. But physical reality, the reality of tight supply, of geopolitical tension, of stressed-out shipping lanes, that reality is winning. The price of the physical tanker, that's the price that's telling the truth right now.
So my advice? Forget all the noise. Just watch the Brent spread. In a world this full of financial fog and uncertainty, the physical price of oil is the only map that actually matters. I'm Steve. I'll see you at the open.